It ain't got no sense of direction. You see what you see. What you see is what you want to be.
Never gonna be called straight from the underground. That was just the tagline I came up with off an Ice Cube record. Where it was, in fact, it was an NWA record. Like, coming straight from the underground, and I took it. But the original name of the show was called Street Knowledge. When I started at RUR, well, damn, I'm gonna have to go back further than that. Okay, first time I got down, I was doing little mixtapes, and I was doing little clubs in Rochester back in 89, 90, 91. I was just doing little clubs, getting my little name out, DJing, playing out, mixing and all that. But I also had a mentor by the name of Winston. He used to have this place further down Genesee Street. I'm forgetting the name of the place right now. But he used to have this roots and reggae shop. And he also sold hip hop on the side. And he used to get all the records from New York. Now, my love for hip hop started when I first heard it when I was a teenager, 17, at Edison Tech. I always knew there was more than what you heard on the radio, because growing up in the 70s, you really didn't have much to listen to up here in Rochester. We had rock music, we had pop music, and DKX was just starting out in 77. So we had at the time we didn't know and we didn't appreciate it. We had the first black radio station up here. So hearing soul music on a regular was something new for everybody. By the time I got to like my teenage years, I was listening to all kinds of rock, all kinds of other good stuff. And my father used to listen to 8-track tapes of all the old cool soul jams and stuff. So, I guess I grew up pretty good musically. But I always knew there was more than stuff. I don't know. I was an awkward teenager. I didn't dance. I couldn't sing. I was real skinny, different from what I look like now. I was real skinny. I was closed. I was like closed in. I didn't know how to communicate with too many people, but people knew I was friendly and got along with. When I heard hip hop, it was just something different. The first time I heard, for many people, Sugar Hill Gang. When I first heard that, I was like, yo, this is something maybe even I could do. They're just rhyming over the beat. This is something, I could do this. I could maybe rhyme or something like that. So I sat back, wrote a few rhymes, but they were whack. They were just straight. There was nothing on the Sugar Hill, nothing on Curtis Blow level, nothing like that. And I was like, okay, I can't do that. And I hated speaking in public at that time. And I was like, yo, screw all that. Let's see. Since I couldn't dance, forget the break dancing. I could imitate, but I wasn't no cool break dancing like my friends down the street and nothing like that. So I was trying to figure out another way I could get into hip hop. So I turned to graffiti. I was a good artist. I wasn't bad. I'm not on the level of my boys like the graffiti artists I used to run Rochester all the time. They used to go to school with me. His name was Fitzroy Burke. He was doing a show at 89 at 88.5 RUR at that time. I didn't even know about it. He just came up to me one day in the Kmart parking lot and was like, "Chris, yo, I heard one of your mixtapes. Yo, you're pretty good. You get some new records and stuff. And yo, where'd you get this joint from? Where'd you get that new KRS-One from?" And I'm like, yo, in fact, the name of the studio that Winston used to work at was called Studio One. Studio One Records on Charlotte Avenue. I said, yo, my man Winston hit me off of that track. And he was like, word. He's like, yo, I got to get some of the new records you got. And yo, in fact, I got a show. I do a radio show on RUR. Why don't you come up and start, hit me with a couple of the records, or better yet, you come up and mix, because I know you can mix. So I took it, I grabbed a couple records, came up there, and already there was a studio full of people. There was his girl, 3 of his homeboys, another dude who I don't know who he was, and it was all cramped in this one little small studio at RUR. And I was like, damn, where am I supposed to go? They didn't have no mixer. They had 2 turntables, but it wasn't. You had to mix through the control board, which was way over here. So I tried to do my best little mix from there. I know I couldn't scratch because it was so way over here. So I was just like, screw it. I'll just do a little mix and a blend. People liked it. He kept inviting me to come back. Sooner or later, I became like, give me 15 minutes. Then he gave me a half hour. Then he gave me an hour. Then there was one day he was like, well, Chris, I'm not going to come up there. Why don't you do the show with my wife, or his girl at that time? Why don't you do the show with my girl? And they liked it. Of course, his boys didn't like it. They started disappearing. They started falling off and disappearing. And I guess another member of the station, Jerome Davis, was going to college at that time. He was like, he wanted me to be down with his show. Then there's another college graduate from U of R named Cedric Kuzak. Cedric came to me, he said he was going to start a show called, where he wanted to talk about hip hop. He wanted to talk about current events. And he wanted a DJ for his, to play the new records in the background. I accepted his offer. And he called it Street Knowledge. So me and him started Street Knowledge way back in 92. So I left Fitzroy's show, went on with Cedric. We started a show called Street Knowledge, where Cedric was basically the voice of the show. I didn't really talk. Even on Fitzroy's show, I would say, hey, how you doing? I hated my voice. I didn't say much. I just spoke with the records. Same thing with Cedric. Cedric was the voice of the show. I'd be in the background saying, hey, how you doing? And, I got a couple joints. Play them. Next thing you know, Cedric graduated the year of 92. And he wasn't coming back to Rochester. So he left me the show. I became a full-fledged member of RUR. He left me the show. I wanted to keep calling it Street Knowledge, but it just didn't sound right without Cedric, because I didn't keep up with all the current events. And I really didn't want to talk, so basically I just wanted to play the records and play them all. And plus, I had gotten to the point where I got tired of mixing too at that time too, because before I had been mixing for a while, for like 10 years now. And I got tired of mixing. I wanted to hear the full record. I was like, well, let me do a radio show the way I want to do it. Let me do a radio show where you're not playing just 2 verses and then you go to the next record, or you blend in from one record to the other. Let me just play a record where it's just full records and move on to the next and play the next record. I came up with the name Straight from the Underground. Next thing you know, one of my old friends, Everett Daniels, otherwise known as Every Ev, who used to criticize every show I did. Because I go down to the block, and me, at that time, I didn't know who was listening to the show. I thought maybe some of the school kids was listening, and maybe some of my friends was listening. At the time, I thought maybe 50 people at the most was listening to the show. I'd go down to the block on Sunday morning, on Genesee and Sawyer, and ask them, yo, did you hear the show last night? Was it good? Was it good? And Ev would always sit there with a critique. Oh, you could have played more Ultramatic and Siege. You could have played some more KRS-One. You could have played some more Lord Finesse. And I'm like, looking at him like, well, if you got so much criticism to say, why don't you come down to the show with me and help me out? And he accepted my offer. That was the whole Straight from the Underground deal right there. That's how everything started. 93, we had a name. We had a purpose, Chris G and everything. And that's how it started. Yeah, I'm gonna have to we're gonna do a revision or something. Because this right here I'm holding in my hand is the very first tape of the first show we ever did, which was in '91. Me and Cedric Kuzak, this is the first street knowledge room. Right here. And I got the date wrong. I said 92. It was 91. You have to, excuse me, I'm old now, so I may forget a couple things. Years of drinking and partying have kind of messed up my mind and memory. Alright? Yeah, that's dope. Said, I'm getting this to you. I know you're watching this right now. You're probably saying, yo, where's my tape? Where's the copy of my tape? Nah, I got you. Come on, Tim. Got you hitting up for the ideas, more or less. And they're all labeled and everything, too. You know, way back in the day, these are ITR tapes. I got RUR tapes, I got ITR tapes. Yeah, well, right here, that's from '94. You know, so if anybody ever wants to hear some of the old ones, we got them. I mean, I do got them. I know there's dudes out here in Rochester that used to tape every show. So, you know, if anybody ever wanted to go back and listen to them joints, somebody in Rochester got them. So, especially me.
Smoking in the
Big boy Fitzroy Burke. He had the show on WRUR,
The Big Boys Bash.
the Big Boys Bash, 88.5 at U of R, right? So that was every Saturday night. So Chris was a guest up there, and then on Thursday nights was DJ Stone. DJ Stone, Jerome Davis was on Thursday night, and then before Big Boy came on, Dwight the Reggae Soldier was up there. All of this counts. So they be like, man, why you telling us all this shit? Nah, man, all this shit count, man. You know? So you was listening. Rhythm X was from the east side, but, you know, and we gonna get into all the elements of hip hop. Because it's more than just 4 elements, man. And we'll get into that. And this is where these cats plug in at. Now, what happened was, I used to give Chris a ride and carry his records. I used to carry Chris records, you know what I'm saying?
I did it too.
Yeah, give me a ride. Can you give me a ride?
No shame in that.
So when Big Boy Fitzroy was up there, you know, he'll let me chime in, like, yo, man, come on in, man. Yo, what you? So when he was in the middle of doing his show, Fitzroy used to look at me like, yo, Ab, you got anything to say on that? And I'd be like, well, yeah, man, blah, 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 blah. And shout out to Black Mob and so-and-so and such, for real. And so they was like, yo, this dude is mad knowledgeable with hip-hop. Like, yo, you know, and we're going to get into the 5th element of hip-hop, which is the participant with knowledge. He's mad knowledgeable, and I shout out my dudes, and I go spread the word and this and that. And then Fitzroy was asking for me to come back. Like, yo, Ev, come on back, man. Chris G, yo. And then I think Fitzroy started going to church. That's what happened. He started going to church. Fitzroy started going to church, so he couldn't be up all night on Saturday. So he'll ask me and Chris, like, yo, Chris, can you do my show for me? Can you do my show for me? And Chris like, yeah, hell yeah, man, Fitzroy, blah, 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 come up and help me do my show. At the time, Art Kerr was Chris' helper, because I'll come up here and give him a ride. Art come up and walk over the bridge, because we all 19th Ward cats that live in the area. He'll come over and help him. Art was fucking up, man. Art was messing up the shout-outs on the phone, stuttering on the mic. Now, Art's my man. You know, but we had, you know, I think Art was kind of salty, because I came in here and booted Art the fuck up out of here. Like, nah, like Jazzy Jeff on the Fresh Prince, when Uncle Phil come home and throw his ass out the doorway, like, ah! You know what I'm saying? Art, you my man. So, you know, that's another history. So from that point on, man, we was doing the radio. Fitzroy he found God, started doing church, and he just couldn't do the radio. And now, meantime, at the radio, at 88.5 WRUR, you got community, and you have college. Me and Chris was considered as community, because we didn't go to the college. So the college had first dibs on whatever they wanted to do. They could pick when they wanted to broadcast. They could pick on the days they wanted. They could pick how long they wanted to do. So the college students, they didn't want to stay there all night. They didn't want to do the shows on these days. So they was like, yo, so Chris was like, yo, can we rock 4 hours? Yeah, go ahead, because it ain't nothing but dead air. So all right, so we rock 4 hours. Can we rock 6 hours? Yeah. So Dwight the Reggae Soldier go off around 10 o'clock at night. He come on for 2 hours from like 8 to 10. Then me and Chris come in and rock from 10 to 12. But since it was dead air and the gospel show don't come on until that Saturday morning at 7 in the morning, we kind of like pushed it all the way to there. Then what happened was, we rocking. You know, Fitzroy started going to church. He found God. He didn't want to play cuss records. He had to get up early to go to church. So that's how we end up getting the show like that. So people was loving it, and we spreading the word. We only rocking for friends that we know, shouting out to friends that we know. And then we got hip hop knowledge. So we playing all the real shit, the real hip hop, the real lyrics, lyrical, skillful shit. And then it started spreading like fire. Like a trickle, a little flick of a light will raise it forth. It's California right now. Burn the whole state down. So word got out. That's how it was. Word got out. So now from that point on, Rhythm X on the flex. Now across the way at RIT, you had DJ Phil Thorne. Phil Thorne had a show called The Unique Beat. And Green Lantern, but Green Lantern wasn't Green Lantern at the time. This was
James One.
James One. He was James One. Now, in 1992, he was in 1992, Green Lantern was rocking at where's Green Lantern rocking at? He was rocking at Rockport, because we was all MCC niggas. Cause I ended up going to MCC. We was college dudes. You know, I got out the army. I ended up going to MCC. We became college dudes. So at college, we rocking on the radio waves. So we know all of the college parties, like WRUR having the party Friday, RIT having the party Saturday, Oswego having the party the 13th, St. John Fisher, Nazareth having the party, UB and Bluff State having the party over here, Syracuse having the party over there. So with them parties, also was concerts. That's how we knew about the Greek Freak, the Greek Fest in Philly, the Greek Freak in Syracuse, the Freaknik, which was a college situation, shit like that. So then what happened was, I'm trying to remember. So 92, you know, Green Lantern, which was James One, he was doing the Brockport parties. He used to have the Black Scully on, you know, his whole, you know, like, yo, Jazzy J, remember Beat Street? So then, DJ Big Raj, he was there. DJ Wiz was big in the 80s, and then DJ Wiz was kind of dormant a little bit. But we was there because he's a big significant part. Bobby Lee, big significant part. Back then you had DJ Tiny T. He was down with the KGB and Armageddon and Prime Minister K and all of them cats. These are them cats from around the way from there, but don't like it. Sam Ski, Kid Flash from Rochester. Sam Ski used to beatbox. MC Peaches, they used to rap back in Charlotte back in '86. You know, we go back. That's right. And see, we go back from hip hop from when it first started. We go back when it first started. I'm from the Grandmaster Caz days. But I was that young nigga that was like, yeah, you know, hip hop was my shit. I used to break dance, I used to backflip, and I used to graffiti write. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no money for turntables. I wasn't into rapping. Chris G, when Chris got out of the army, when you got out of the army, Chris?
I got out, 87.
Okay, when Chris got out of the army in 87, now me and Chris G, we childhood friends. I knew Chris since I was 5 years old.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They live right around the corner on the next block.
Yep.
From me, where I used to live at. Jermaine Green, you know what I'm saying? Jay Nice, yeah. So what happened was, Chris got out the army. That nigga had turntables. He had all the records. And that was 87. So Chris used to throw the little parties in the back of his driveway with Jerry Williams and Quincy and Derek Smith and all of them. JoJo and them. You know, like neighborhood dudes. Brandon Thornton, the Best Kept Secret, aka Chili B, when we was growing up. So that's how me and Chris got tight. And you know, comic books, kung fu movies, all that shit. So it's so much to tell y'all. I know you're like, where is this leading, Dev? You know, like, where is this leading? You say there's so much to say. So I'm glad you got so many parts, because so much to talk about. So boom, boom, bam, we was doing our thing, you know. we end up taking over 88.5 because Big Boy Fitzroy started going to church. Phil Thorne wasn't doing. Now, mind you, you had cats like Mike McPherson. Remember Mike McPherson? Armageddon, Prime Minister K, Tiny T, Ulysses. You know what I'm saying? KO and Groovy C. They was all down with them cats on 88.5 or 89.7 at RUR. And they was doing their thing. So we was doing our thing. They scratched a lot. They said we talk a lot. Whatever. Phil disappeared, you know. And then Rhythm X came in 92, 93. 92.
Do your Googles. We dumb Dutchess, let the Remy or the Henny spill. God bless the beats, let me tell you how I really feel. Born in the metropolis, circle in the crack drop. Family in the business, on a couple back blocks, same old story. Pops had a short run, beef got crazy, seen them both with a black gun. Promise I would leave them, hit the streets. As a little kid, I always had to hustle, Esco, saw the shit I did. Now that I got older, little wise, a lot of time in. Realized I was tripping, never slipping, was the grinding. Snitching was a pimping, if you spitting, better beat bars. If you pay attention, did I mention these are y'all stars? But real niggas try to hide scars. Y'all popping stitches to the side arm. I speak clearly in divine God, and put it all together like a mark guard. Life lessons got me this far. Those that are gone tend to miss them in my new car. Roof gone, so I see stars. Give thanks for my sight in this weed draw. Stress all coming. Some niggas started running. Some niggas started stunning. Some niggas started dumping. My cuz was the plug, so you know I started pumping. Through 12 in these raps, I would do a little something. Look, my niggas in the war room, planning on the way out. I'm going clear my thoughts with some paper, got a new route. I see them in passing, they eyes show passion. Struggling for ration, so I twist, try and match. Standing in the